everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. And today's topic is online dating goes wrong almost every time. Online dating goes wrong almost every time. Now, before we get started, I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to all the new viewers, the new subscribers, and welcome to you who have been with me from the beginning. I really appreciate you. Now, to get us started, I did pull a video, and then we have a short letter. So let's watch this video. It's a wee bit longer than the videos I usually show you, but I wanted you to get the gist of this woman's story, okay? And then we're going to ask the question from the letter and dive right into this topic. Online dating goes wrong almost every time. Here we go.
This girl went on a date with this man off a dating site. When she went on a date with him, they had a good time at the dinner table. They laugh and giggle, and she was just starting to get to know him better. When they had end up leaving dinner, she had end up going home, and he went his separate way. Like 20 minutes later, he had end up texting her and was like, can I sit in at your house because my roommate left and he locked the door and I can't get in and I have to get in when he gets back. So in her head, she was like, she's been skeptical about it. At first, she was like, okay, well, this man paid for my dinner. He's a nice guy. He can sit in until his roommate come and open the door for him. So it got to a point where she allowed him to come. So when he came and he brought him a bag. In her head, she thinking like, okay, well, I know he ain't staying, so why he got a bag with him? And when she left him, he never had a bag. So she decided to go in her room, close the door, and lock the door. So when he was there, she was already feeling nervous, so she stayed in her room and she didn't come out of that room until he left. He decided to knock on her door and ask for a charger. When she was like, okay, it's a charger in the kitchen in a drawer. And he was like, well, I don't see the charger or whatever. So he was trying to get her to come out the room. She decided, oh, no, I'm not coming out of there. The charger should work fine. It's my charger. I put it there and I know it worked great. So it got quiet. Probably like 20 or 30 minutes later, he started banging on the door harder. So she get nervous and she ended up calling the police. Once she called the police had ended up coming and she didn't believe that the police was in the house. So when the police had arrived and she finally came out of the room, the police said, ma'am, look at your living room. The living room was covered in plastic. It was covered like as in he was ready to do surgery. Guys, these dating sites is not safe.
You see the horror story that she was saying. Now let's dive into this letter. All right, she's talking about in her letter this transgender who met a woman online. They arranged a meeting to date. You know how these online things go. And it doesn't say, I think this was a news report or some story, but she didn't say here how long, they were online before they decided to meet. But in any regard, they decided to meet. And because he was apparently a psychopath, he held her prisoner, tortured her, murdered her in some hotel room. So, things like that still happen because people still want to go online and date. You see, I still get letters from women, I've been online, but it's not working. But it's like, that you should walk away from it. But it's an energy in it that makes you feel like you're missing out if you walk away from it. That's an energy. Can you feel it? It's like an addictive energy. When the online dating first happened, I was on a lot of the sites. That's how I can talk about it. Okay, I was out there, and I know some people say, oh, the younger people say, oh, and that was in the older days or whatever. It doesn't matter. This online dating thing is under demonic energy. Okay? It's just a mechanism for somebody to make money from your desire to meet people. All right? But the whole thing is, they don't care who you meet, and they don't care what happens to you after you meet. That's on you. You understand? They just provide a mechanism where you can meet people. And it's no filter for the people to even prove that they are who they say they are. Even the sites that claim that they do. Because I've been on even some of the more expensive sites that claim, you do all this portfolio and all this crap, and still you meet some jerk on the other end of the country. Come on. Come on. It's all tricks and strategy to bring you in for someone to make money. But you don't get anything out of it but usually heartbreak if you escape with your life. The reason that I snapped out of that online dating addiction was I met a man on there who tried to scam me, saying, "You're a handsome picture." He claimed he was from Louisiana. I was from New York. And at this time, he's off in overseas somewhere, working on some oil rig. Okay, I don't remember how old I was, but I was dumber then. Okay, so anyway, this handsome man from Louisiana is interested in me, and I know that, I typed it up. I know that men work on the oil rig, what their salaries are looking like. But all of a sudden, he got some kind of problem where he can't get his hands on his money. You see? Can't get his hand. And he's wanting to know if I have some money I can send to him to get him out of his issue. Because, they give you a chance to try to get in your heart and make you feel like, that it's them and all that kind of crap. But something snapped in my head. I didn't have the money to send him anyway, so that was a joke. But there's a lot of women out there who do. So anyway, it snapped in my head to ask him to identify himself. So I told him, I said, okay, you send me a photograph of you holding your photo ID right next to your face, and I'll send you the money. I never heard from him again. All right. Now, I'm sure, that was in those days, and I'm sure today they have even more skill into how to fool you out of your money. And it's usually the older women who they figure by your age you should have a pot of money somewhere. You see, so a lot of those money scams, they just went past my head because I never had any money to send anybody anyway. But not that I would. But this is how a lot of older women get burned. Now let's look at the younger women. The younger women. I was just looking at a show the other day where this fellow wooed this woman out. I guess they went out and about. And then, he's in these fancy cars and all this other kind of crap. And he took her to his fancy home and everything. And there, I guess they drugged her, held her prisoner, tortured her, did all sorts of things. It was him and his girlfriend in the house tearing this young woman apart. I guess she finally died under torture. So, the point is, people, a lot of people online know these horror stories, but it doesn't stop them. You see, it's not that they don't believe it. is that they don't believe it's going to happen to me. I got more sense than that. You see, I know how to screen them better. It's just not me. See, that's denial. You don't want to wait until it happens to you. Let's use some logic. Let's say you're in your 20s and you meet a guy who says he's in his 20s. All right? Because the young lady that was captured or whatever, it turns out that her guy was in his 40s when you see, he's a real guy. These are the stumbling blocks. But, okay, you meet somebody online and you think that this person is the person that they claim that they are. All right, okay. He's 20, you're 20. What is it that you're wanting from him? If he even shows up. Now think about it. He's only in his 20s. What are men looking for in their 20s? To have sex. They're not looking to form any kind of relationships. They want to have as much sex as possible with as many women as possible. You know, and especially if they're getting ready to go to college and all that. Shh. Look, I forget how old you are when you go to college, if it's 19 or 20, but I know it's around that somewhere. 18, 19, 20. It's the same thing. But women, when you meet men your age and you're in your 20s and even like your early 30s, it's the same thing. They just want sex. That's it. All right. All right. Now you're online. You're like, all right, you're 35. Let's say he's your age. I'm staying with somebody your age. You 35 and he's 40 something. Okay? Same thing. Now you think, you working woman, you on your way to the top. And he could be on his way to the top too. What does he really want from you? A lot of these guys are looking for partners. They're looking for a partner to help them build whatever. And most of what they want to build is what they want to build. Not what you want to build, it's what they want to build. You understand? All right, now I'm just talking about men that we'll say are suitable men that you meet online. I'm crossing out all the toxic and negative men. You know, we know what happens with those guys. Those are the guys that want to scam you and kill you or whatever. Okay, let's move on up the age. Let's say that you are, let's say 50, let's say 55. We'll push it on up now because women are looking great. Or in your 60s, you know, go on up to 60, 70, whatever. Okay. You meet a guy. Oh, he's looking good for his age. All right? All right. Now, you already know from your own experience that what he should have. All right? So he's set. You know, he got his home, you know. Everything's set. His marriage didn't work out or whatever. Okay. You meet him online. What is it that he really wants from you? All right. Now, you got your money. He got his money. So all of that's cool. What is it that he really wants? He wants somebody to grow old with. Okay. Now, you, of course, you being a woman, you're still going to have to be the caretaker and, you know, yeah, total support on him. All right. This is assuming by that time that you decide that you should commit to each other and all of that. But when they meet you online, that's what they're looking for, because we already know if you meet somebody and you're in this age group, and whether if he has less than you, you know what he's looking for. He's looking for your money. But if he has equal or more than you, he's looking for companionship, but then it's going to be on you to give him total support. Okay? All right. And that's why usually men at that age, if they have a lot of money, they're looking for the girls that's 20. Because they know that they can throw a few dollars at the girls and they'll do whatever he wants. Okay? But you may give him some flack. All right. Now, I hope that you understand the message today. The point is that, I don't want to impress you through fear. I gave you those horror stories to let you know that they are out there and all of that. But I realize that this never changed anybody. You hear them, but you still want to do it. It's not that you don't believe them. You just don't believe it could happen to you. The horror stories where somebody dies is the end of it, but there's so many things that happen, things that can hurt you and harm you between the very horror and it just not being good in the first place. All right. So I hope that you understand the message today. And I really hope that it helps someone. Now, those of you that may have a question that you'd like for me to answer, my email address is in the description. And if you're looking for today's affirmation, the link is also in the description. I want to thank you so much for supporting this channel. Thank you for your comments and your letters. And a very special thank you to those that leave a donation. I really appreciate all of you. I wish you all the very best. And I really hope to see you next time.